Can you spot this pilot's SIV mistake? It's not in his hands. Today, I'll show you the hidden key to unlocking your performance. Ready? Here we go. I'm an elite paraglider with over 3,000 flight hours and multiple distance records. Founder of the Paragliding Men's Group, where great pilots transform into greater men, partners, and fathers. Mastery in the sky begins with owning our shit on the ground, so if you're a man who wants it all, welcome home. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Ari in the Air. Welcome back to the channel. Stoked to be here. Today, I've got a video from my friend Elliot. He's a founding member of the Paragliding Men's Group, and he sent this clip in from his first SIV that he did in California. It's vertical. It's not the most ideal angle for us, but there's a lot we can learn from this. Let's watch it once through, and then we're going to dig into it. Okay, so instructions say install it. He's got his hands just buried. Oh, lots of activity. Now he's in line twist. And, oh, there's slack in the brake line, meaning that it's caught in line twist. Oh, lots of airspeed. Oh, wow. Nose down spiral in line twist. Oh, the glider is somehow stalled again. And he's telling him to reserve, 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 reserve. He gets the reserve out. Reserve opens. Nice. Why waste time? The SIV instructor, Dylan Benedetti, friend to Elliot. Let's go back. The things that we're going to learn from Elliot today are two things. One, where do you put your eyes when you're trying to handle a glider? And two, let's talk about a little emotional regulation or nervous system regulation in general for paragliding. It's so incredibly important. Okay, first thing, stall it. Look at him. He goes, and he just waits while the glider just thrashes around. He's not looking at it. He's not breathing. Don't look at it. Don't breathe. Don't look at it. Don't breathe. I love this video, mostly because I love Elliot, but so there's another thing that's happening here. Basically, when you stall a glider, one of the things that I like to tell people is that you want symmetrical and quiet hands. So if you go 3, 2, 1, punch, then as you come back to back fly, you want symmetrical hands for the most part, and you want them to be quiet. You don't want big inputs like this because you end up a day late and $1 short, and you're like pulling the wrong string at the wrong time, and you're just making it worse. And that's kind of what Elliot has going on here as he's thrashing. He's not looking at the glider, so how would he know how to make the right input at the right time? By feel alone on his first couple stalls, that's not going to happen. Look at the glider. Second of all, quiet hands. Third of all, you're going to have to breathe. Wrap it under and keep it there, Dylan says. Holding, line twists, holding. The slack in the brake line. He's still holding his breath, or at least tensed. And this is just amazing that he ever got out of that. Like, pulling, stalling. Oh, yeah, Elliot. I kind of thought he was going to have it. He's kind of like pumping, he's thrashing, he's pumping. He's really active hands. It's really easy to do this when there's just so much going on and it's loud and it's windy and all of this stuff. But in general, to reinflate the glider, stalling, you want quiet and symmetrical hands. Like if you just were a robot and you just pulled the brakes down under your seatboard and then you just very slowly let them back up, the chances are that it would work is actually pretty good. So the pumping and the pulling is unlikely to work. As far as nervous system regulation, paragliding is the most triggering thing I've ever done. And this is like, I was a professional skier by the time I was 20. I was a professional highliner. I've set world records. I've been the 5-time American record holder in highlining. I have the state record in distance paragliding. I've basically spent my entire life pursuing action sports, and my progression into longer and longer high lines, my progression into further and further flights is all been really supported through more and more understanding of my nervous system and how to regulate it. So in really scary situations, just being able to calm down. In really long situations, being able to pace myself to be able to rest amidst the situation, those kinds of things, to nourish my body with, on a long 9-hour flight, you're not going to last 9 hours unless you eat, drink, pee, breathe, all of these things. So If you are in a SIV situation, I recommend that before you do your run, that you take 15 minutes, 20 minutes by yourself, sitting in silence, deepening your breath, deepening your breath, deepening your breath. Just get really relaxed. And then do 15 or 20 minutes of very specific visualizations for what it is that you're going to do. If you are going to do your first full stalls, then literally just imagining, okay, I'm going to look up at the glider and I'm going to pull them down to the carabiners and wait to slow down a little bit. And then I'm going to go 3, 2, 1. I'm going to punch them under. And then I'm going to feel the glider fall back and I'm going to feel wind from behind. And the glider might disappear. And then as it comes back into my view, I'm going to let my hands up just to the carabiners. And then as the glider comes over my head, I'm going to slowly and symmetrically let my hands up until the glider is fully filled and inflated. And at that point, I'm going to put my hands up. The glider is going to shoot and I'm going to check the chute. And do that for 15 minutes over and over, visualizing, because your brain doesn't know the difference between you visualizing something and actually doing it. So practice on the ground and practicing, like noticing really specifically when I stall the glider is going to go out of my view and I'm going to have a sensation of falling backwards. I'm going to have air rushing from behind me, because these are all novel things that you're not used to in paragliding that are very much going to happen. And if you're visualizing them before and you understand that they're going to happen, when it happens, it comes and now you're yep, this is normal. Otherwise, you're going to hold your breath. You're going to tense up your body. You're going to get really fighty with your hands. But if you want to perform well in your life and in paragliding, you're going to have to be able to regulate your nervous system, which means recognizing that you get triggered or you get scared or you get upset or you get tense or you get tight, and then understanding where that comes from, and then ultimately having somatic practices, like whether you can breathe and calm down, whether you can like walk it off and calm down. Like everybody's got to know their practices for how they get back to breathing normally and not being super scared, super triggered, pissed off, these kinds of things. This is all part of being a man and being a pilot. You can't expect to be super scared and hold your breath and have perfect outcomes. This is a wonderful place. SIV is a great place to do this and to dive in with an instructor on the radio who can kind of help you even if your nervous system is totally triggered and overriding, right? So appreciate Elliot sharing this epic video with us and a perfect reserve deployment. So just to, summarize the lessons here: eyes on the glider, deep breaths, keep breathing. For me, when I paraglide cross country, I'm trying to breathe in and out of my nose exclusively. It keeps me more hydrated, right? Keeps my mouth from drying out. And it also just like keeps my nervous system low. When I walk across really, really long high lines, I do the same thing, because if I breathe out of my mouth, I start letting my heart rate go higher than I want it to, and I start overexerting. So nostril breathing is really helpful for staying calm. So if you're going to learn stalls and stuff, you really want to be able to visualize so that your nervous system can calm down. And then even in the flight, doing things that calm you down while you fly, as you're being towed up, you can take deep breaths in and out of your nostrils while you're still paying attention. I'll tell you just personally, as I was in Turkey last year teaching SIV, as I was flying out to the box, because I'm on my acroglider and I'm training acrobatics before landing and coaching everybody, that I was doing deep breathing exercises just to calm down, just so that I would arrive to the box as fully present and as tuned in and as turned on as I possibly could, so that I'd have the best performance, that I'd be safest, and I'd have the most fun. So I use those techniques like all the time in flying, and I recommend them for you as well. Look at the glider, breathe, quiet hands, and persistence, because Elliot here is sending it and learning some good things. Thanks so much to Elliot for being a founding member of the Paragliding Men's Group and for sending us video so that we can all learn from it. If you're interested in being a part of the Paragliding Men's Group, there is a link to apply in the description. Thanks so much for watching. Check out the peanut gallery that is my comment section, and have a good day, my brother.